You sick.
It's another beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you've come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Well, shit, man, I know it's been a minute, so let me give you some simple directions. We're just down the street, past the house, with the boarded up window. With the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe, man. He's a gentleman. He's a scholar. He's coming out of this pandemic. So slip in what you should. He's going to point you in the right direction. He's going to tell you to take a left and then a right. As you find yourself strolling down the street, minding your own goddamn business, a cool breeze will hit you that chills you right to your skeletal core. And you'll find yourself asking, was that the autumn wind? You goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep, dark alley? Well, of course you should. Because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Tuesday on Raider Reaction, this is the Raider Nation Report. A solid 60 minutes with yours truly of a little bit of everything. Silver and black. So, we got a lot to get into. We went total defense last week. We ripped through the entire depth chart where it is currently position by position. And tonight, we're going to do the same damn thing on offense. And thank you, Carl. We love you too. We love you all. Dare, freaking Michael, Lines, every damn one of you that stop in here with the Raider Reaction, man. You guys are the shit. That's why we keep doing what we do, is because you guys keep coming back. So, tonight, we're going to rip all the way through the offense, and we want your comments. We want your input, so dig in with us. We're going to go position by position all the way through the offense, but I want to touch on some little more broader subjects to start the show. But first off, thank you for joining us. It is time for the Raider Nation Report. Now, without football, we wouldn't be talking Raider football. So, the first thing, first order of business, football must happen and must come onto the field for the 2020 season to actually get kicked off. You got to get players into the training camp facilities. You got to get them through preseason. And we've got to get to actual field play, games, asses in the stands, NFL season as we know it. So that's what we've got to get to. Now, there's a lot of dynamics out there. There's been a lot of talk of the games with no fans. To me, reality is I don't think the NFL even gets that. They stand to lose so much money if there's not asses in the seats that it is sickening. But the sad thing is they make so much money, it's still not even going to put, it's going to hurt their profit, but it's not like it's going to be anywhere near a loss for them. They're still going to be making money hand over fist. But the fact is they want to make money hand over fist times 20. That's typically how they roll. They're billionaires for a reason, and these guys make money. That's their job. That's their career. That's what they do, is they make money. So, they're in every way possible, they're trying to get those stadiums filled up and asses in the seats. UFC has had multiple events now. They've pulled it off without a hitch, without asses in the seats, which just starts to pave the way for Dana White leading the fucking way, man, leading the parade, leading the charge of bringing back live sporting events. And the fact that Dana White is the one leading the fucking parade is just hilarious on several different levels. Fucking juiced up motherfucker. The NHL announced today they're coming back. 2014 playoff. They're ready. They're expanding the playoff, and they're getting ready to come back. They're canceling the regular season. Somewhat along the lines of what you may see the NBA doing as they're starting to have their talks about what they're going to do. Baseball, local training facilities for the pro teams around here have opened up their doors. They're starting to have practices. So when you're looking at months off of the actual season starting and everything is starting to trend in the right direction, unless there's something catastrophic with this fucking zombie apocalypse that takes a fucking left turn and makes us all go, we'll probably be alright. And oh yes, Dare, my God, they're talking about the XFL could come back next year. Somebody else buys it. And here's the thing. There'll be some rich asshole who thinks he's got listen, if we come up with a jock cam, if we hook a camera to all of their jocks, it'll be like, I don't know. They're going to come up with some stupid fucking idea, and some rich asshole's going to think he's fucking kitschy, and he's the next genius, and oh God. I'm telling you, I tried it once. Big L, a bunch of the guys from Orlando Raider Nation, had Germany Raider Nation in the house, as Rainer and his lovely wife were visiting from overseas. Well, a whole group of us went. Oh yeah, we sat and watched. I do believe it was like the prime time game, like Sunday Night Football. Like they had ESPN there. It was the worst fucking football I have ever sat and watched. God, thank God the beer was cheap. It was terrible. I don't care. You can't sell me on that was good football. That was bad fucking football. So please don't bring that back. But there is talk of that shit. So, but I think we are going to have football. Everything's trending in the right direction. So, I'm feeling positive. I'm securing my tickets. I'm getting ready. I'm going to be there at week 1. I'm going to be there in week 2. I hope to see everybody there. Because look me up. I'll be around. Excuse me, man. Fighting this cough, and I swear it's not the corona. Now, that is not a laughing matter. Sorry, I like to joke about serious topics. Don't lose your fucking mind. I mean, you can make jokes. You should really make jokes about serious topics. Helps, I don't know, lightens the mood. Now, moving on. If you haven't watched, or if you didn't watch, you should go back and click on some of these games that took place over the Memorial Day weekend, the Raider Reaction 2020 Off-Season Madden Challenge, the PS4 League, a full fucking season has just moved into the wild card round, actually just finished the wild card round, as it just finished last night. We had 1 game on Saturday night, 2 games on Sunday night, and 1 game on Monday night. I was doing live calls on all the games except for my game, and my son did the live call on, which ended up being an absolute abortion, but what have you. Straight coat hanger job. But this weekend, we've got the divisional rounds, and they will be live on Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night again, as we've got live divisional round matchups. I will be live on the call on all of the games. Raider Reaction 2020 Offseason Madden Challenge action. We got that going down this weekend. So I don't want to waste a bunch of time on the show because we are ready to jump right into an offensive breakdown. But before we get to that, all of the owners who were in the Raider Reaction 2020 Offseason Madden Challenge, every division winner got a Raider Reaction prize pack, or it's getting a prize pack with stuff from Raider Reaction and from the league sponsor, RaiderNationStore.net. Now, we build it as you can absolutely suck and join our league and go 0-16 if you didn't get a prize pack and win a division. Ultimately, you're not going to get a chance to win the grand prize because you're out. We're going to give one away to all of the losers. Everybody who didn't win a division. Even if you went 0-16 in our fucking Madden Challenge League and you absolutely sucked and you paid your $30 buy-in just to play for fun, you're going to get a chance to win a prize pack. So, to all of you losers, I wouldn't say losers, because some of you guys are actually still in the playoffs, who are wild cards, just didn't win their division. So, 1 prize pack is going to Bryson. There you go, Bryson. See, you didn't even have to make it into the postseason to get yourself a prize pack. All the way to wherever the fuck Bryson lives, like bumfuck ass Egypt. I don't know where he lives. This as far north as you can get, where you start seeing right below where you stop seeing animals and life like living. He lives like up there, like past Canada. I don't even know what that's called up there, but it's really north and really fucking cold, like complete opposite of me. But congratulations, Bryson. Now moving on, we got to get into some offensive breakdown. I want you guys to stay with us. If you're watching in one of the watch parties in one of these groups, if you want to click out and come to the Raider Reaction Facebook page, you can actually throw your comments up and I will be able to see them. If you're just in one of the watch parties, you can comment in all those watch parties all you want, but I ain't ever going to see none of that shit. So, moving on, here we go. And we got to start. Where do you start? If you're talking about offense, you're talking about the NFL, where are you going to start? You're going to start under center. Because whether it's deserve it or not, the quarterback gets the majority of the praise when they win and the majority of the blame when they lose. There's a reason why you get paid upwards of 20, 25, 30, 35. Now they're talking 40, $45 million a fucking year. There's a reason you get paid that type of salary, because you're humping a lot on your back, man. You are the CEO of the franchise on the field. It goes through you. You can talk about talent around you, you can talk about all that, but it comes down to it's the most important position on the field. It is. It just is. It's so hard to find. There's only 32 of these jobs in the entire world, and half the fucking leagues got shit starting. That's how hard it is to find real solid talent at the NFL quarterback position. You have to be able to be like a fucking working computer mentally on the field, digest so much information and be able to process it so quickly and do it in the middle of fucking chaos, standing in the middle of an intersection as cars are flying around you. You have to fucking zone in and be able to fucking block all that out, find the open receivers. Oh no, he's moving. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. But 25, 30, 35, 40 million dollars a fucking year. I'm sorry. If you can't do it, people are going to rake you over the coals for not being able to get it done. And that's what comes with the job. Did you read the job description when you signed up for NFL quarterback? It says, it's like line 2. If you don't win, it's going to be ugly. Must win. Fans will turn on you quick. So, we're looking at the 2020 season. What you've got coming in. You've got Derek Carr. He's your starter for the 2020 season. Anybody that thinks Mariota's going to beat out Derek Carr in training camp or fucking preseason, man, you're fucking huffing glue. I mean, really. As much as you want to label motherfuckers Derek Carr haters, which is like the fucking new buzz phrase for the Raiders this offseason. Oh, you're a Carr hater, man. Fucking Carr hater. Whatever that even means. It's fucking ignorant. We know he's the starter. 4 games in, we can start to talk, all right? 4 games in, we can start to talk. Because if he's not, if you're 2-2 or 1-3, there's a large percentage of the fan base that's going to do a fucking 180 on your ass. And they're going to be calling for Mariota in the stands. They're going to be booing your ass every time you have a fucking bad play. And that's a quarterback controversy. And that's ugly. We don't want that. We want to see Derek Carr go through and be successful. But what we have now in place that we didn't have before is a guy who actually has the talent, the capabilities, the mental faculties to step in and take a team and run with it if need be. Yes, this would be a reclamation project. Yes, all of that. But the NFL is littered with them throughout its history and its lore of reclamation projects. Just guys that just didn't, for some reason, it just didn't work out where they were. That doesn't mean they're dead. You know, there's a reason people were talking about Marcus Mariota as one of the number 1 overall picks. And they were debating between him and fucking famous Jameis Crablegs. So, you got Mariota, solid backup, a real true. I like the fact this is the first guy that you've had that could really take Derek Carr's job. He's had backups before, but just to fill, hopefully put the clipboard down and just fill in for him for a minute. That's all you ever had. You never had anybody that could possibly be a guy that steps in and now. So we'll see. And then there's Peterman, the Peterman. He's the project. Gruden's got some sort of thing for the Peterman. So he's his little pet project that he's gonna beat on in the quarterback room for the next season. But those are your 3, and you don't have any others on roster right now. Those are your 3, and barring injury, I think that's who you're gonna roll with. You're only gonna carry 3 in, and it's probably gonna be Carr, Mariota, and Peterman. I think you've got a little vested interest in all of them. Obviously, Carr, big time. Peterman, you start to get a little vested interest in him. And you've shown with the contract you've given Marcus Mariota, very incentive-laden, that you are going to let him see if he can resurrect his career in the silver and black, sitting behind DC4. So, this season goes through DC4. This is hashtag no more excuses season. If you don't put this team in the playoffs, this team doesn't have a winning record, this team doesn't turn a big corner by mid-season, and you start to see the form of a playoff team, I'm not saying you got to win the West this year and win the division. I'm not saying you got to take down the defending Super Bowl champions and dethrone them this season. No. Let's be realistic. I don't even have us picked to beat the Chiefs in our division. I have us pegged at 11-5, but I don't even think that's enough to win the division. I think the Chiefs are 12-4, maybe 13-3. We're going to have to go through them at some point in the playoffs if somebody else doesn't knock them off. It's just the way it is. I I'm being a realist. If you didn't watch the fucking any NFL the last 2 seasons and see what their quarterback's been doing, I'm just being real. Okay, they've got an electric offense, and this is an offensively driven league. Chiefs defense ain't shit. Their defense ain't no better than ours. So everybody that wants to say, oh, you can't win without defense, motherfucker, it's 2020, man. It's like fucking video game football now. You breathe on a motherfucker wrong, they throw a flag on defense. Offenses are shredding teams. Tyreek Hill wouldn't have been shit once upon a time because fucking somebody lit his fucking ass up across the middle. And that had been about the last time you come streaking across the middle. You can't do that no more. So that dude's running fucking crazy. You can't slow some of these speed guys down. So it's just a different game than it used to be. It's a different game. So you've seen what we did in the draft, man. We're trying to match speed for speed. So your quarterback position, there's no quarterback controversy for me coming into this training camp. There isn't. You can be pro-car. You can be anti-car. You can be a fucking car hater. Car hater! You can be one of those guys, too, which is fucking just retarded.
Loser!
Those are just retarded. If you're using that phrase, you really need to fucking put that shit in your back pocket and leave it there. You just sound like a jackass. So, quarterback position, solid. Somebody's pinging my ass. They can just ping the fuck away. It is what it is. As a whole and a collective fan base, we should hope for nothing more than for Derek Carr to have all of the weapons he's needed, a solidified coaching staff around him, the backing of the general manager, the ownership. He's got everything you've ever needed. Please, just go succeed. I don't think anybody in the fan base at this point, why wouldn't we want to see him succeed? So to call any member of a car hater, that's just a stretch for me, man. I'm sorry. I don't subscribe to accepting mediocrity over and over. What the fuck happened to commitment to excellence? That shit just ain't a bumper sticker to me, man. That shit just ain't a bumper sticker. So, moving on to the offensive line. Now, the offensive line has been solidified. I mean, obviously you got Rodney Hudson, the best center in the fucking league. He's the anchor of this offensive line. A complete mainstay. This guy's not going freaking anywhere. Nowhere. And right next to him, you had Gabe Jackson. You brought in Richie Incognito to help fill in. And he not only filled in, he helped shore up the left side. You're going to keep Richie over on the left side next to Colton Miller. And Colton Miller, to me, he's interesting. He was one of my biggest question marks coming into last season. One of my biggest question marks. And he showed me that he can be a good, solid, serviceable left tackle. So now I want to see, can this guy turn the corner this season and become that dominant force at left tackle? Because if he can, then we'll see. We'll see. So, Miller, you locked up Incognito. Bringing him back, I think, was one of the huge signings of the offseason. Bringing Incognito back. Rodney Hudson in the middle. Gabe Jackson to his side. And then Big Trent Brown anchoring the right end. This is a solid, possible Pro Bowl caliber offensive line all the way across the front. And now you brought in John Simpson in this draft class in the 4th round. And all the depth charts that I've seen show him basically being the backup to Gabe Jackson. There's a guy out there still floating around by the name of Jamal Adams, who I've still heard ties. I keep hearing the Raiders' name mentioned. Is there a possibility, if he's still around, or if there's still some big names around, and you get into a little bit of training camp and preseason, and you do think that this kid possibly has the talent, Gabe could be gone. I still think there's one more big move in this regime before you get to the season. And we'll see, and I think that move could be made at guard, and you could see a rookie moved up into that starting position if he comes out and shows in training camp, preseason, but we'll see. That remains to be seen. But nonetheless, Colton Miller, Richie Incognito, Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, Trent Brown. That's a solid fucking offensive line. That's a solid offensive line. So, if you can't be excited about that, I don't. So far, got offensive line. We've went through the quarterbacks. Let's stick on the line, shall we, and close that out. And let's talk about tight end. Tight end got to be a very crowded position as you went out and you bring in future Hall of Famer Jason Witten. Jason Witten was one of my what signs of the offseason? It took me a second. I think you're bringing him in as a nice mentoring role. I'm not sure how much action Jason Witten gets this season. I'm really not sure how much action he truly gets. Because you gotta look at this depth chart. You got Witten, Foster Moreau, Nick O'Leary, Derek Carrier, and Nick Bowers. Derek Carrier has been a tight end that has really shown some flashes of shit. He could be high up in the depth chart on some other team's tight end position, and he seems to just be getting lost in the wash here. You got Waller, you brought in Witten, Foster Moreau, I would say, has even moved himself ahead of Carrier just because of the hype in the youth. So I've heard a lot about 2 tight end sets, but man, this is a deep tight end squad, even for a 2 tight end set. So we'll see. I don't know. I just don't know about Witten, because third down in red zone, like Byron said, well, that's... But isn't that what you got Waller for? I mean, isn't that what you're grooming Waller for? So I don't know. It just seems like if you're going to lean on the old veteran and now take opportunities away from your young stud who you've seen is one of the rising possible young diamonds in the rough that have been uncovered, we're wasting away. He got himself clean, and now who knows what he could be. I don't know, man. You're just taking opportunities away to give it to Waller. I mean, take things from Waller to give to Witten. I don't know. I can see through training camp, through preseason, and maybe he's one of the late cuts. When you get down to your final cut, and I guess it's only one cut now. It's not a series of cuts anymore, but I don't know. Seems like an interesting position, but it's a very packed position. Carrier is just the odd man out, I think, because you've got some of these other younger guys who I think will end up hanging around the depth chart simply because they're going to be cheaper. It's unfortunate. He is a great blocker. Witten's just a great all-around tight end. He's a Hall of Famer. There's no fucking beating around the bush about it. He's a Hall of Famer. You've brought a Hall of Famer in the fold. But this is absolutely his last year. I do not see Jason Witten playing another season. I mean, he already retired once, went in the booth, came back out, played a year. Now he's moved on to another team. The fact he even went on to another team just blows my mind. Why would you want to move on to another team at that stage of your career? Been with one team. I don't know, man. Unless it's just the thought of playing in Vegas, being in the silver and black. I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting, very interesting. He was one of my freaking of the signings in the off season. Like, what the fuck was that? Witten? My second one of those was fucking Nelson Aguilar. So moving on to wide receiver. I don't want Nelson Aguilar. You went and signed a gift? Now, I mean, come on. That's going to be the butt of jokes all fucking season. The first time that jackass drops a fucking pass, I'm going to have that fucking shit all up in my inbox. This is going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Nelson Aguilar. I mean, let's look at the wide receivers, shall we? While we're talking, moving through the offense, front to back, left to right, side to side, however the fuck we're doing it. Wide receiver got really interesting because it was one of the biggest needs coming out of 2019. It's all anybody said. He doesn't have no weapons. Who's he supposed to throw it to? He didn't throw it deep. He didn't throw it there. Who's going to catch it? Ah. Every fucking excuse in the world. Well, now, no more excuses. All kinds of weapons, right? They're fucking everywhere. You got weapons sprinkled everywhere. Like acne on some fucking poor 14-year-old kid's face. Everywhere. Henry Ruggs III. He's supposed to be your number one. He's supposed to be your answer to Tyreek Hill. Well, we'll see. We'll see. He's a great character kid. His coach out of college, Nick Saban, has every great thing to say about this kid. All that. I mean, you got to look past the fucking being in the robe on draft day. You got to look past that. Raymond, what's up? You got to look past that. You got to. He's got all the hype. So he's your number one. Your number two is Tyrell Williams. Now here's where I start to get concerned. Tyrell Williams is our number two. To me, Tyrell Williams has never been a number two. Tyrell Williams is a 2.5 at best. Masquerading as a 2. If he's your 2, concerns me. You tried to make him a 1, but at a 2.5, you're even reaching to be a 2. It's a real stretch to try to be a 1. So that just doesn't work out. Got Zay Jones. Zay Jones was trying to be a 2. Zay Jones he's like a 3.5 at best. He's not a 2, and he's not really a 3. He's a reach to be a 3. So moving him up to try to be a 2, that means you fucked, because who's trying to be your 1? So that's what happened last year. So the gap between what we got at the very top and this log jam at the kind of upper, above average, those wide receivers, this is where it gets interesting. Now, Bryan Edwards, the rookie, the one Bobby's talking about right there, the kid from South Carolina, Bryan Edwards, this is the kid that's going to be tapping Tyrell Williams on the shoulder all freaking season if he does not step up. If this kid can come and ball out, the number 2 spot is sitting wide open and ready for the taking. Who's ever the most hungry and take... Tyrell Williams did nothing last year to secure himself shit coming into 2020. Absolutely nothing. It's just the fact of the fucking matter. He did not endear himself to anyone. What you can call it what you want. I mean, hey, availability is availability. Stats are stats. And he didn't put him up, and he wasn't available. Team lost. It's fucking reality. It's not fucking nuclear fucking brain science. It's a simple reality. So sitting there, so you got your number 1. You got your 2.5 in Tyrell Williams. Hopefully you got Bryan Edwards, who's gonna leap Tyrell Williams to be your real number 2. Or hopefully Tyrell Williams steps up and he is the number 2. Maybe. Behind him, Hunter Renfrow, he's your starting slot receiver. Now you got Zage. Now here's where it gets weird. After that, so you're coming out starting Tyrell Williams, Henry Ruggs III, and Hunter Renfrow. Trying to mix in Bryan Edwards in there. Then you got Zay Jones. You got Rico Gafford, this speedster. You got Marcel Aitman that everybody still kind of thinks maybe he could be something. And then you got Keelan Doss, who I think he's going to be practice squad. Or he's going to be... I don't think Doss is shit, really. Everybody who mentions Doss, I just chuckle. I'm just like, you got to be an uneducated motherfucker if you fucking mentioned in Doss. Not Doss. So, you got Ruggs, Tyrell Williams, Zay Jones, Brian Enrico Gafford, Marcel Aitman, and Keelan Doss. Aguilar was, I don't know, man. What? In the offseason, Aguilar he was an interesting signing. The fact you didn't keep Harris, who's going to carry the ball for you out of your wide receiver core for punt returns, kick returns? Are you looking at maybe Gafford, speedster? Are you looking at Nelson Aguilar not really being a weapon in the wide receiver core? So, I don't know. Keelan Doss last year had the golden opportunity. He was the poster child coming out of Hard Knocks. He came into the 4th preseason game. They tried to spotlight him, and he absolutely just did not show up. They tried to spotlight him and give him the opportunities. He just didn't step up. So I mean, he's not done. He's not dead in the water. But I don't think he grasped the ring when the opportunity was there. So, Bowden's possible, Galo possible in the kick return. They're going to use him like a Swiss Army knife, like a joker position. Is what Mayock is saying. So, Ruggs, you're looking at Ruggs, Tyrell Williams, Hunter Renfrow. Those are probably your starting 3. Zay Jones, Brian Edwards are going to mix in quite a bit. They're going to mix in quite a bit in. I just don't know about Nelson Aguilar. You've also got DeMornay Pearson L hanging out there in the depth squad, as well as Ant Ratliff Williams. So you've got a deep squad of wide receivers. Who's going to be healthy? And who's going to step up, man? That's really where it comes down to. You need somebody in this depth squad of wide receivers to really, really step up. We tried to address the issues. I love what the Raiders did in the offseason and in the draft. Every single... If you made a list the day after the season ended of all of your needs, every one of them was addressed. Whether you agree with the person that was plugged in to address the problem, that's all debatable. And that is all show me stuff. That they're going to show you if that was a hit or a miss. But you address the problems across the board. And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. So, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting at the wide receiver position. One of the key places of need. Now, let's switch to the running back position. Lynn Bowden Jr., who's he's going to help out in your wide receiver core, possibly your special teams, possibly punt returns. Who knows, man? This kid, every time he touches the ball, just electric things happen. His average yards from scrimmage, his yards per carry, his yards per touch, near the nation, leading the nation in damn near every one. He's an amazing kid. A little on the slight side, but we'll see. He's looked to be plugged in the depth chart at running back. He's going to be, like I said, that Swiss Army knife, that Joker style player. It's going to be interesting where he fits in. Now, there has been a pickup at running back that some people seemed a little more excited about than I was. Devontae Booker. Now, Devontae Booker hasn't done a lot over the last couple seasons. Rushed for 9 yards last year, 183 yards the year before, 299 yards in 17, and his best season in 2016, where he rushed for 612 and only 4 touches. So I've seen him plugged in as high as second on the depth chart behind Josh Jacobs, and I find that a little crazy. I think Richard is your solid 3. I would say Lynn Bowden is going to probably get some shots to be the solid number 2 behind Josh Jacobs. I mean, where else does he really fit in? With going and getting him where you got him, you're planning to use that kid. He's going to be a part of this offense. So if you're going to bring in Devontae Booker, why wouldn't you just keep Washington? Why would you just keep D-Wash? I don't think D-Wash was demanding any kind of large salary. I don't know. I don't see where he's an upgrade from DeAndre Washington. And now you've let D-Wash go to a division rival. I don't know. I don't see where that was an upgrade in our depth chart at running back. We'll see. We'll see. It's just interesting how they've addressed the running back tree. Now, obviously, Josh Jacobs is doing what we hope Josh Jacobs does. The rest of all that might be a moot point, and these guys get 1 or 2 touches a game because Josh Jacobs is out there just doing what Josh Jacobs does. And I think that's what we all hope, and I think that's what everybody's counting on. But you never know. You never know. Things happen. This is a violent-ass game, man. And any given second, it could be the end. And you got to have somebody ready to step in. So we'll see. Now, Alec Ingold, he's the only fullback on the fucking roster. He's loving it, dude. Right now, Alec Ingold's at home like, yeah. When's training camp start? Shit. He's just chilling. I'm just ready to go get in shape. Get ready for the season. He's got no worries. Nobody is taking Alec Ingold's job. They didn't go try to even touch the fullback position. So, he's chilling. He's loving it. He's like, it's great. Because you didn't bring anybody in. Him and Jacobs have a great chemistry. Ingold, I think, was an alternate for the Pro Bowl this year. He really flew under the radar and had a great season. And they're looking at this. He could be a kid who's around for a while. He could be a Raider for a while. And they are not looking at replacing that fullback. There's nobody else even on there challenging him for his job. He's like the only guy, like him and Rodney Hudson. Those two, they ain't got to worry about shit. Everybody else, the punter's good. Got no other punter on the roster right now. So Cole the Third, he's good too. Nobody challenged him for his job, so he's good as well. So, like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't been following along, the Raider Reaction 2020 Offseason Madden Challenge, we got live playoff action this weekend. I know everybody's craving sports, so we got some live esports action this weekend. I will be live on the game call. Commish Jr. will be joining me as well. As we've got, the players that we've got left now in the Madden Challenge, the PS4 League, are some top-level gamers here, and there's all Raider fans, so it's a 14-plus hour draft. Everybody put these teams together, and it's divisional round this weekend. So you've got some of the best going at it, and it's only going to be down to 4 going into the next weekend. So make sure you tune in right after Fight Night. Don't miss Fight Night Saturday night, man. If you haven't caught Raider Reaction Saturday Night Fights yet, you're just missing a slice of fucking awesome. The blood flows every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, and then right after that, about a half hour later, we're going to have divisional matchup, live Raider Reaction, Offseason Madden Challenge action. Then on Sunday night, we're going to have a couple more games, and then Monday night, we've got the Vikings, the number 1 seed in the NFC, hosting the Lions, who took down Commish Jr. with that wicked pick 6 on the last second of the game on the goal line. The crusher on Saturday night. Marcus, now he gets the number 1 seed. That's his reward for taking down Commish Jr. So, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out that website right there, RaiderReaction.com. Thank you, Dare. I think Raider Reaction Saturday Night Fights are some of our finest work. It's a crown jewel. It really is. It could possibly be up for a Sports Emmy or an ESPY next year. The production value on it is just, it's like no other. But if you haven't checked it out, you should. Raider Reaction Saturday Night Fights. The blood flows every Saturday night, and then we're capping it off with playoff action the next 2 Saturday nights right afterwards, about a half hour later. So we got all kinds of shit planned for you this season. It's gonna be a crazy season. So basically, as a wrap, as a whole, the offense looks solid, man. What holes you had have systematically been plugged. You've bolstered your offensive line. It's healthy. The holes that you had to fill last year, it's healthy. You've brought it all back. Wide receivers, you filled all of the needs. Now, it's funny, I saw somebody make a comment there. Boy, somebody's been a Raider hater. How is sitting here and discussing the tree of wide receivers and, where... Make an argument that Tyrell... Because I called Tyrell Williams a freaking 2.5. That's being a Raider hater? Like, seriously? No. He proved by his performance he's at best a 2.5. Do I want him to be a 2? You fucking ain't right, I do. He's the guy plugged in the position. Do I want to see him succeed? Yes. Do I have questions? Yes. You should. If you don't, then you didn't pay attention last season. I can't help it. This shit's on the quiz, motherfucker. Pay attention. Fucking... This is the off season. This is when you're supposed to discuss these things. Question the moves. Who should start? Who should stay? Should I stay or should I go now? If I stay, it'd be trouble. Motherfucker, you don't leave, it's gonna be double. You don't know. You don't know.
What? Thanks, bro.
Yeah, you just don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen. But yes, I love what we've done with the defense. I love what we've done with the offense. I picked this team to go 11-5, but I think the first quarter of the season is the most crucial thing for this team. I think that it's a young team. You've added a lot of important pieces in important positions. You need this to gel. You need it to gel. You need it to just to work out in the right direction. So, we'll see. I'm very positive about this season. But I tell you, if things go south early, it could be really bad, man. It could be really bad. There's a lot of expectations for this season, and when you have high expectations and you don't meet them, bad things happen in professional sports to fan bases. So, I love the hype. I love the excitement. Like I said, the flip side of excitement is it's high expectations, and sometimes the fall from those high expectations is bad for a season, man. So, we'll see. It's gonna be a very interesting season. I'm excited. I love the home opener. Or the season opener. I don't love the home opener. I love the season opener. So it's the two after that, I think, is where you're really going to have a chance. The Patriots-Bills game, those two games are where I really believe you have the chance to make your mark early on the 2020 season. Those two games are winnable. Those two games are must-wins to me to set the tone for this young team. And it's completely doable. Completely doable. So, before I move on, I don't want to run out of time. So I want to hit my last little segment here. It's a certain little segment that I like to throw in. I like to sprinkle in at the end. Because, there's things I just got to get off my chest.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yes. It's a little thing. that I like to call the WTF. Now, I'm a little guy. Actually, I've got three. Well, I don't have three guys. I've got a girl, guy, little guy. Well, little guy, birthday, he's 3, the big 03. And, you know, so it's, you know, we live in the fucking hubs of hell. We live in paradise. So it's hot, you know, it's beachy season. So we get him all the beach stuff, you know, for the little guy uses, fucking picnic table, little fucking umbrella, you know, all this shit. And we never got one for our older kids. And so we were looking, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna get him a sandbox. Let's get him the green turtle. Every kid that when I was growing up had the green turtle. The green turtle fucking sandbox, you know, with the fucking shell lid. Everybody got the fucking green turtle, right? What was it? Made by Little Tykes, the fucking green turtle. So fuck it. We got him the green turtle. And so I get the green turtle and I open it up. I take it out of the box. We get it through fucking Amazon, like half of fucking everything else bought in the goddamn world. And, you know, it's shipped right to our fucking door, and we open it up, and I get it out. I fill the thing with sand, and I put the lid on it. And I'm a guy. I work in the construction industry. I work on high-level projects, big fucking projects. High-level blueprints, fucking, you know, this fucking big, and, you know, so I kind of understand how things are put together. So I put this all together, and it's sitting there, and we're done with it, and it's a little breezy that day, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, how long have they been making these green fucking turtles? Long time, right? Decades. Decades and decades. Not once in all this fucking time, in all these meetings, these production meetings, these design meetings, not one of you fucking high-level genius motherfuckers could figure out how to come up with some sort of fucking latch system or something to hold the shell on the motherfucker. Everybody I know that had that green fucking turtles got some ugly-ass brick, a rock, a rusty-ass weight, something sitting on top of it. It's supposed to look like a turtle. How many turtles you seen walking around with a rusty-ass weight or a big fucking rock on its back? Not too many. How many fucking decades is it going to take you to figure out how to make a nice little latch system or a little fucking, you know, a little fucking wing nut, something that holds the stupid plastic shell on the top of it? I got to put a rock on the motherfucker? It's a brand new thing and I got to set a rock on it. That's the best you can come up with? And I probably, if I call product help, they'd be like, well, sir, why don't you just put a rock on it? Why the fuck don't you hire an engineer who can figure out how to make a plastic fucking latch, you stupid motherfuckers? How much money you made off this stupid ass green turtle sandbox? Good lord! We can put people on the fucking moon. We're about ready to have a bitch walk on Mars, but we can't put a clip on a fucking green turtle? My ass. What the fuck? Bullshit. Bullshit. This is simple engineering. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh. Man, I'm just excited that I really feel like there's going to be football this season. Well, now, Billy, why the hell should I have to buy a brand new fucking thing and then jimmy rig the motherfucker to stay on? Sure, Velcro would work. So why the fuck don't some engineer at Little Tykes figure out how to keep the shell on and charge a motherfucker $5 more for it? Oh, with new improved shell design. Cost $14.99 more. I just made them $3 million more over the next fucking 3 months probably. You can send that by way of the Commish. It's RAIDER ReACTION for my brilliant idea, Little Tykes. Please send it over. Send it over. I see these things every day in my trade, and I'm just like, people go to college to learn how to create shit. You have no idea how many college-educated idiots I run into in my daily fucking travels. What the fuck? Fix the green turtle. And I honestly thought about it. What's funny was there was a minor discussion about this at one point, and I was like, huh. I said, I wonder if I got to skid a rock for the top of it. She's like, oh, I'm sure they figure that out by now. Guess not. Guess not. Guess they haven't figured it out by now. Whatever. Whatever. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, the Twitter, because everybody loves a good Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out that website. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group, man, I don't know what, if the fucking somebody wrote it on a bathroom wall or something, but the Facebook group is fucking blowing up. I can't even keep up with the goddamn requests every fucking day. It's getting ridiculous. But it's great. So come to the dark side, the official group of Raider Reaction. Click on the group tab, the Raider Reaction Empire, the dark side, the official group of Raider Reaction. Real, raw, and uncensored. Just like my damn show. No stupid admins tapping on you. All that shit. You can speak your mind. It's the off season. This is when you should be able to. Thank you for joining me as always. It was fun. It was great. I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed yourself as well. It's the Raider Nation Report right here every Tuesday. Hey, if you want to start off your morning seeing this face, I'll be here tomorrow morning for the Raider Reaction Morning Show, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. We got some shit to talk about. Clips, highlights, all that good stuff. So I'll see you in the morning. Until then, I'm out. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.